Your mailbox might be holding the key to a $1,400 surprise, but only if you're one of the million Americans who qualify for this special payment. The clock is ticking, and many people don't even know they're eligible for money that's rightfully theirs. This isn't about a new government program or emergency legislation. This is about money that was already approved but never claimed. Money that's now finding its way to bank accounts and mailboxes across America. If you found this information valuable, please like this video and subscribe to The Golden Money for more updates on financial opportunities that could put money directly in your pocket. The story begins not with new legislation, but with something much more interesting in claimed money. According to a press release from the IRS, an estimated $2.4 billion in payments was scheduled to be sent out in December, arriving in bank accounts or mailboxes by late January 2025. This massive distribution represents one of the most significant automatic payment programs in recent years, and it's happening without any fanfare or political debates. Think about your neighbor, Margaret, who worked part-time at the local grocery store during the pandemic. She filed her taxes every year, did everything by the book, but somehow missed claiming the recovery rebate credit for 2021. She's not alone. Across the country, hardworking Americans like Margaret missed out on stimulus money they were entitled to receive. The government knew this was happening, and instead of making people jump through hoops, they decided to send the money automatically. The recovery rebate credit was connected to the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, which provided economic relief. During the pandemic, many people received their $1,400 stimulus payments directly, but others, particularly those who didn't need to file tax returns or who experienced changes in their income, never received what they were owed. The IRS identified these gaps and took action to bridge them. Here's what makes this situation particularly important for seniors and retirees. Many people on fixed incomes, including Social Security recipients, might not have filed tax returns in 2021 if their income was below certain thresholds. They might have assumed they weren't eligible for stimulus payments, or they might have filed their returns but forgot to claim the recovery rebate credit. The IRS cross-referenced their records and found approximately 1 million people who fell into this category. Let's consider the case of Robert, a 68-year-old retiree from Ohio. Robert lives on Social Security and a small pension. In 2021, his income was low enough that he wasn't required to file a tax return. He heard about stimulus payments but assumed they were only for working people. He never realized that he was entitled to $1,400 under the American Rescue Plan Act. When the IRS automated system identified him as eligible, he received his payment without having to do anything. The beauty of this program lies in its simplicity. The payments should arrive by late January and will be direct deposited to the bank account listed on your 2023 tax return or sent by paper check to the address the IRS has on record. There's no application process, no complicated forms to fill out, and no waiting in lines. The government is essentially admitting that they owe you money and they're proactively sending it to you. But here's where it gets interesting, and why timing matters so much. While these automatic payments were processed earlier this year, there's still a window for people to claim additional stimulus money they might have missed. The deadline for claiming the 2021 recovery rebate credit is April 15th, which means there's still time for people who haven't received their payments to take action. This situation highlights a broader issue in our tax system. Millions of Americans leave money on the table every year because they don't know about credits and deductions they're entitled to. The Earned Income Tax Credit, the Child Tax Credit, and various other programs often go unclaimed because people either don't know about them or assume they don't qualify. Consider the story of Linda, a single mother from Texas who worked part-time jobs in 2021. She filed her tax return using free filing software, but the software didn't prompt her to claim the recovery rebate credit because she had received a partial stimulus payment earlier. She was actually entitled to additional money based on her income level, but she never claimed it. When the IRS automatic system caught this discrepancy, she received an unexpected payment of $800. The implications of this program extend beyond individual payments. It represents a shift in how the government approaches tax compliance and citizen services. Instead of placing the burden entirely on taxpayers to know every rule and claim every credit, the IRS is using technology to identify discrepancies and correct them proactively. For seniors, this is particularly significant. Many older Americans grew up in an era when dealing with the government meant long waits and complicated paperwork. The idea that the government would automatically send you money you're owed might seem too good to be true. But that's exactly what's happening here. The $2.4 billion figure represents real money going to real people who need it. In today's economy, $1,400 can make a significant difference in someone's monthly budget. It might cover a month's worth of groceries, help with medication costs, or provide a cushion for unexpected expenses. What's particularly interesting about this program is how it demonstrates the power of data analysis in government operations. The IRS used sophisticated algorithms to cross-reference tax returns, income records, and payment histories to identify people who were eligible but hadn't received their payments. This kind of proactive approach to citizen services represents a modernization of government operations that benefits everyone. The lesson here extends beyond stimulus payments. It's about staying informed about your rights and entitlements, especially when it comes to taxes and government benefits. Many people assume that if they don't hear about something, it doesn't apply to them, but government programs often have complex eligibility requirements that aren't immediately obvious. For those who might be wondering if they're eligible for additional stimulus money, the key is to review your 2021 tax situation. If you experience changes in income, filing status, or family size between when you filed your 2021 return and when you filed your 2020 return, you might be entitled to additional money. The Recovery Rebate Credit was designed to reconcile these differences. The Thursday deadline mentioned in our title refers to the ongoing processing of these payments and the critical importance of staying aware of tax deadlines. While the automatic payments have been processed, there are still opportunities for people to claim money they're owed. This entire situation serves as a reminder that financial opportunities often come from unexpected places. The government occasionally identifies errors in their systems and takes steps to correct them. Sometimes this results in refunds, sometimes in additional payments, and sometimes in entirely new programs. As we move forward, it's worth noting that this won't be the last time the government sends out automatic payments to correct past oversights. The tax system is complex, and discrepancies are inevitable. The key is to stay informed, keep good records, and pay attention to announcements from the IRS and other government agencies. The most important takeaway from this story is that money you're owed doesn't disappear just because you don't claim it immediately. Government programs often have mechanisms to identify and correct errors, even years after the fact. The $2.4 billion in payments we've discussed represents just one example of this principle in action.